Welcome to the first episode of The Verdict in 2020. Today we're looking at comedy heist films. Welcome to The Verdict. I'm Tristan Sartor.
And I'm Paul Schuhart.
And I'm Alex Montgomery.
The talented and stylized director Edgar Wright brings us yet another gripping but charismatic action film, Baby Driver. This 2017 film follows Baby, a hearing-impaired yet remarkably talented getaway driver for a heist crew led by Kevin Spacey. Baby Driver is a lot of things, but slow is not one of them. Let's watch that trailer.
So you just starting your day, or did you just get off?
They call, I go, you know.
So what is it you do?
I'm a driver.
Oh, like a chauffeur. Anyone I'd know?
I hope not.
What is your name?
Baby.
Your name's Baby. B-A-B-Y, Baby.
This one you say listen to the music all the time?
Is he mental?
Mental meaning slow. Was he slow?
No.
He had an accident when he was a kid. Still has a hum in the drum. Plays music to drown it out. And that's what makes him the best.
One more job and I'm done.
One more job, and we're straight.
No, I don't think I need to give you the speech about what happens when you say no, how I could break your legs and kill everyone you love. Because you already know that, don't you?
Yeah.
The moment you catch feelings is the moment you catch a bullet.
And your waitress girlfriend, she's cute. Let's keep it that way.
I want us to head west and never stop.
You in?
I'm in, baby.
One of these days, baby, you're gonna get blood on your hands.
Time to face the music.
Baby, we need to get out of here.
I have to end this. Are we in bed together now?
Baby.
Baby?
Baby.
Doc said Michael Myers.
This is Mike Myers.
It should be the Halloween mask.
This is a Halloween mask.
No, the killer dude from Halloween.
Oh, you mean Jason?
No!
Baby, you tell me who does.
She a good girl? You love her?
Yes, I do.
That's too bad.
So, is there anything that Edgar Wright can't get right?
Well, I must say, in this movie, the soundtrack was amazing. Legit.
Yeah, I mean, the score is a. I don't want to spend like 5 minutes on the score, but I could spend 5 minutes on the score alone.
I mean, they picked excellent songs for this movie, like legit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Right? I think every review that's ever been done of this movie covered how remarkable the score is. What I was really impressed by is, honestly, especially on rewatching it, the side cast people, like even characters as small as like John Bernthal, Jamie Foxx character, John Hamm, of course. They really sell this movie. But this is something Edgar Wright's always been good at, is creating an interesting side cast. It actually reminded me a lot of, in my opinion, the best film of the Cornetto trilogy, also directed by Mr. Wright, Hot Fuzz. You know, that movie relies on its background cast, and it does it so well. Like, subtle. It's subtle, but it's not. I don't know. That's the best way to describe it. It's just subtle.
yeah.
It's well done.
Yeah. Saying like the score is just insane. I love I watched this movie when it first came out in theaters.
Right.
I was in Austin. I went to theater. It was packed. I sat in the very back. I hated it, and I still had a great experience coming in there. And one of the first things I didn't notice on the first watch, but like kind of like our second watch, I was like, oh, a lot of the action's actually adding up with the music itself, like the shootout, like beats of the song are actually happening while like the gunfire is going on. And that had to be just insane trying to edit that. I mean, I can't imagine someone actually trying to not only find a song that would match up with that, and then actually matching the song up with it. It's just crazy. It just blows my mind thinking about it.
I know one thing I was trying to put, like, I know in some movies I try to put myself in a situation. I know it's two things, I mean, that stuck out to me, and that was because his hearing. What was wrong with him? Like, what was that?
Oh,
like,
yeah, he's like tendonitis or something like that.
Yeah, so it was like a little thing that was like a little buzz, not a buzz, but like a little sound or something. Yeah, in his ear. Yeah, ringing. Perfect word. Wow, I couldn't think of that. But yeah, so like that ringing in his ear, and I mean, like, and so drowning out with all the music and stuff like that. And then, I mean, I'm gonna be, this is the second thing, try to put myself in the shoes of like, you know what? I'm gonna go just drive cars for criminals. That was weird to me. I mean, like, I just couldn't do that.
I feel like it's just kind of one of those things where the protagonist has nothing to lose, but I feel like a lot of action hinges on the whole protagonist. Because I mean, of course, they're not gonna pick like Joe from Allstate to steal cash with you. I would pick the guy with tendonitis. I'd pick the one-armed man.
I think another thing that made the criminals like Jamie Foxx trust him so much is because he had nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like he definitely took chances with like what he drove and what he drove into and stuff like that, and how, you know. So, I mean, I think that was a great part of the movie, a great asset. I mean, a good depiction of a person with that mindset at the moment, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that made no sense. But, I mean, if y'all said it made sense, did it make sense to y'all? Anyways.
Leave it in the comments below.
Yeah, you know, I love Jamie Foxx in this movie.
Dude,
Bats, right? That was his name,
Bats.
He was crazy in this one.
Oh yeah.
You know, Jamie Foxx, he's really proven himself to be just like agile on like so many things. Like, because I know that he started off his career being a comedian and like comic.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy to think that like he went from that to like doing more serious movies.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that big role from Ray.
Oh yeah.
That was amazing, dude.
Yeah, it was.
Literally put himself in the shoes of Ray Charles and played Ray Charles perfectly.
Yeah, he did.
Perfectly. It's just like looking at Ray Charles.
You know, I mean, I remember when I heard the casting, I was like, will he do well? And I saw him, I was like, he did well.
He did.
You know, he did well.
I think, if we go talk about Jamie Foxx, period, just real quick, we get back on the movie. But he did it as a comedian. I mean, he just was amazing as a comedian. A singer, he did well in his career as a singer.
Oh, yeah.
And then putting those two together as a comedian and a singer, and then going to an actor, becoming an actor and playing those serious roles. I mean, like, and then, I mean, not only just Ray Charles, this movie, but have y'all seen the Spider-Man movie he was in?
That was bad. I gotta say, that was, oh man, that electric. Oh, that,
I mean, hold on.
The ears fixed the gap in his teeth. Like, I'm sorry, that was bad.
Okay.
That was bad.
I got another movie that you just cannot say he was not good in.
That was bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it was outside of something Jamie Foxx do. That's why I liked it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, and maybe it was just because his character just looked odd in that film.
He definitely looked odd. I give you that.
I don't know, that the whole Amazing Spider-Man series, I could spend a day.
I actually liked that. That was one of my favorite Spider-Mans. Outside of the original Spider-Man, what's his name? Tobey.
You can't beat.
There's a lot of people that don't like him though.
That's crazy. I mean, he's a bit of a puppy. So if you're not a fan of like puppy dog Spider-Man,
what would I say? It was on Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
I lost my mindset. Something about Jamie Foxx. Oh, the other movie, The Violinist. He was excellent in that movie. Have y'all seen that movie?
Nah.
Go see that movie, bro. That's a good movie, bro.
Like, speaking of actors, even though, you know, Kevin Spacey, whatever you want to say about his personal life, I think he made for an all right mob boss. I mean, he was kind of out of the way for the most part of the movie, but I mean, he did well. I mean, I don't know. I can separate actors and their craft from
his personal life.
Yeah, from his personal life. So I mean, I think for the most part, everyone did a stellar job. I think there are a few scenes I would say where Jamie Foxx gets a little over the top in the whole "I'm crazy" thing, where it starts to feel like a Jared Leto Joker situation. like, ooh, it's so edgy. But you know, other than that, I think it was a pretty well put together cast. Like I said, Edgar Wright kills it as a director. And you definitely get I get a lot of Cornetto vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like you're saying, yeah, there's a couple parts where they kind of, like the second half when they're in the cafe, I would have just gotten that out, personally. It was so long and unnecessary and kind of boring for the most part. I'm like, I get it that it comes back into play when, I forgot what his code name is. I can't think of his name.
But I can't catch the name myself. But I mean, that's what Edgar Wright does well, though.
Yeah.
Like you said in Hot Fuzz, you know, he sets up all these little things, all these side characters, and all gets tied back together. Edgar Wright is really, really good at that. Like, and I think that's how you get a good project, is you put someone who really cares about something and you let them just go.
I can say this: when the movie was first coming out, the trailer, and then actually seeing the actual movie, I expected something different. I mean, I can't say exactly what it was that I was expecting, but I mean, like, even I didn't expect Jamie Foxx's character to be just like he was. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And going back on Kevin Spacey, I think he did terrific. I mean, I feel like he plays the bad guy pretty good sometimes. You know?
Well, yeah. I mean, he just has that. He plays that very stern, white collar.
Yeah.
Not really a villainous archetype, but he's a very almost stern father.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just almost everything. I never seen him in something other than that. Like, that's, if I'm correct, that's the same dude that was in Horrible Bosses too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, he has that character that goes with him everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That ridiculous, trifling, mean, you know, character or whatever like that, or a stern father character. I mean, outside his personal life. Like, he's a pretty good. House of Cards, like.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty good. Yeah.
He's like the perfect counter to Steve Buscemi. If you think about it, like build-wise.
Yeah.
And like acting style-wise. Yeah, man.
You know, it's a.
So, Dapper Dan Ocean is a man of action. Less than 24 hours into his parole, a New Jersey penitentiary, the charismatic thief is already rolling out his next plan. Following 3 rules: don't hurt nobody, don't steal from anyone that doesn't deserve it, and play the game like you got nothing to lose. Danny orchestrates the most sophisticated, elaborate casino heist in history. Here's Ocean's 11 trailer.
Please state your name for the record.
Daniel Ocean.
You have been implicated in over a dozen other confidence schemes and frauds. What do you think you would do if released?
I don't know. How much do you guys make a year? It's never been done before.
You want to knock over a casino? 3 casinos?
You gotta be nuts.
Exactly. This place houses a security system that rivals most nuclear missile silos.
Smash and grab job, huh?
Slightly more complicated than that.
Oh, yeah. You'd need at least a dozen guys doing a combination of cons.
10 ought to do it, don't you think? You think we need one more? You think we need one more? All right, we'll get one more.
We're just supposed to walk out of there with $150 million in cash without getting stopped?
Yeah.
It'll be nice working with proper villains again.
2, 1. Well, did you check the batteries? Now, they tell me that I paid my debt to society.
Funny, I never got a check.
Scared? You suicidal?
Congratulations, you're a dead man. He'll kill you. And then he'll go to work on you.
Someone call for a doctor? Here comes a girl.
You're a thief and a liar.
I only lied about being a thief.
Why do this?
Because the house always wins. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house.
Been practicing this speech, haven't you?
A little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed it.
That was good. I liked it.
You're either in or you're out. Right now.
Hey, you can count me in. So, hey, this movie, I enjoyed this movie for several reasons. First, the all-star cast. I mean, you putting people like George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Bernie Mac, Don Cheadle, What's the Damien?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I mean, and all these excellent actors into one movie. I mean, it was great. And then this is me personally. I like movies that have a plan at the end. You see what I'm saying? Like we got this plan to do this thing, and then before we got that plan. I mean, after we get that plan, we start to pick up the people. I love scenes like that when they set it up before they get into the plan, the action and stuff like that. If that make any sense?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
So
about.
yeah, you got like George Clooney and then Brad Pitt in the beginning. George Clooney get out, and then Brad Pitt, they come, talk it up, and then they was like, okay, we need a team. So I mean, I don't know. I like that setup when they pick the team. Picking those people, going to each individual, what they're doing in life. You got like Matt Damon that was a thief, or or whatever like that. Bernie Mac was like a con artist or whatever, And then, what I mean, like seeing those different things or different scenes in the storyline, I mean, like I like stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like this movie set that up perfectly, showing where each and every individual came from, in their life and what they could bring to the table. Just like, what's the movie, Fast and Furious?
Yeah, in a way, I would say one thing going into this movie, seeing it for the first time, because I only saw it for the first time a couple of years ago, actually. What's interesting is it's a very early 2000s movie, like stylistically, visually, it's very much an early 2000s movie. I mean, all you need to see is the haircuts, and you're like, oh, here we go, it's 2005.
The baggy suits.
Oh, yeah. But what I think is really interesting about it is it manages not to be dated. It's a pretty timeless classic, and every parody movie that's come after, every heist movie that's come after it has, in subtle ways, referenced this film. I remember that parody, it was using that that kind of bass theme that came from this movie were just rampant for the next half decade. This movie really did set, I think, a precedent, even in the early 2000s and beyond, of how to make a movie with twists and turns that's still understandable to the average audience member.
Yeah, I think it really was, like you were saying, like lightning in a bottle, and everybody wanted to capture it. Even the producers and the people that were making this, like the next, it's like Ocean's 12 and 13. I didn't really like those too much. They kept trying to redo Ocean's 11, and this movie's just so. It just, like you said, it just has such an amazing cast. I mean, rest in peace, Bernie Mac.
Yes,
absolutely.
I forgot that is in this tonight when I saw
the goat.
I think the reason the sequels didn't work out as well is because I feel like once you've done those twists and turns, your audience knows what to expect, and that's treated as a stylistic thing. Yeah, and after that, your audience is already looking for it, and it doesn't have near the effect as the first time. It's like, oh, nobody got hurt, nobody got shot in that whole, they were the SWAT guys. After you've seen that once, there's nothing that's going to surprise you after it. But so this is definitely a movie I think is meant to be watched really once, because it does explain everything at the end. This isn't something that you're going to be left with tons of mysteries about later on. It explains itself really well.
It was definitely smooth, like how they did everything. I mean, the swag with it, you see what I'm saying? In the way of the swag and how they was just cool with it, especially having the center man, George Clooney. And you don't see him being, super excited, but just smooth and, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there was his ex-wife that was, who was the lady to him? Was she? No, man, this was
she was the girlfriend of the casino manager.
Yeah, so did he have a tie with her? Didn't they have a tie with each other?
That's his ex-wife. That's
what it was. Right. Yeah,
one of the biggest ties you could have.
So yeah, extremely. And then she came back around, didn't it? In a way, or.
She didn't officially, but she saw this. She just watched her former mans just do all this.
So I'm assuming that she'd come back around.
I was a little turned on at the end. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've been like, hey, George, what are you doing this afternoon?
Okay, all right.
This is an arrow, by the way. George Clooney.
If you just,
I'll fight your ex-wife, bro.
I have no affiliation with that comment. It was
all right. Yeah, I think it should be. Yeah.
So, back to the kid-friendly review of this show.
What about this movie is kid-friendly?
I mean, of the review. Anyway, so yeah, I think it was real smooth. I think it was real laid back. It kept the intellect in it. Just keep you on your feet trying to be like, how do you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie, it definitely, you know, there's few movies where you gotta actually like sit down and watch them, and this is definitely one of them. Like I remember someone showed me this, and they're like, you gotta actually like pay attention, because if you just miss one scene, you could totally be lost.
Yeah, it definitely comes together after a while.
I really love the, like you're saying, how they kind of like explaining the plan and we're seeing the plan. You know, because I think that would probably be one of the hardest things to get over. Is probably that. I really like George Clooney in this one as well. You know, I haven't seen George Clooney in a lot of stuff of late. I guess he's in a couple stuff, but
I've seen like 2 movies. This and then Up in the Air, I think. In the Air.
Yeah. And you know, this really signifies that he's a really good actor. I don't think he gets enough credit for that. I think a lot of people is like, they see that, you know, he's obviously a very handsome man.
That's all I say. Everybody like,
you know, everything's
George Clooney or Denzel. It's literally the two actors they always say.
I think we're forgetting about Brad Pitt, y'all. Bad Brad Pitt.
I mean,
he rolls up as definitely as a solid like secondary.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And this was 2001. That's so
this
weird.
is like, I think this is Brad Pitt's like last like young movie. I think this is the last one where he's like, before he's like dad vibes.
Well, okay, was Mr. and Mrs. Smith like after Dad or before Dad vibes? Like before the kids or after the kids?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I mean, 'cause I thought he was still popping in. I mean, Angelina Jolie right next to him.
He's still popping now. I think, I think actually what gave him dad vibes is actually his lack of kids. I think that's ironic. His after he got done with Angelina Jolie, I feel like that's when he adopted dad vibes.
Yeah. You know, every time I think of Brad Pitt, I think of what's the dude name? Never mind. I don't know his name, so it ain't gonna matter. Never mind. This is hard.
Okay. All right.
Back to the movie.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I can't really think. Don Cheadle's in this. That's so
Don
crazy. That is so crazy to think about.
Excellent person to put in the movie.
You know, I mean, he is such an underrated actor. I think
underrated. You think that?
So. I love him, and I don't think he gets enough credit.
I disagree.
I think
he's not underrated at all. I feel like a lot of people give him his props. I mean, even in like, let's say most recently, or not most recently, but when Kevin Hart even put him in his special, he put the biggest names in his special that what is it? The one with Halle Berry in it, Don Cheadle, all those big names. Like, what's the name of it? It was a comedy special. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah.
Well, we'll probably talk about that another time.
Definitely.
Logan Lucky is what you get when you get a heist crew trying to steal from a speedway in North Carolina. This is not a film you want to miss. Let's watch the trailer for Logan Lucky.
Jimmy, I'm just gonna say it. I gotta let you go.
You were just fired. I was let go for liability reasons involving insurance.
The one-armed bartender.
You need to show a little respect. Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know how they move the money.
The only guy who knows anything about blowing up real bank vaults is Joe Bang.
I am incarcerated. Yeah, we got a plan to get you out.
The Coca-Cola 600 is the biggest race of the year.
We need a computer whiz.
I know everything there is to know about computers, okay? All the Twitters, I know them.
Welcome to the Coca-Cola 600.
How many yards away is the vault?
20 yards. I don't know, maybe 30.
Is it 20 or is it 30? We are dealing with science here.
They're gonna know what we want them to know.
My life of crime is over. That is massively stupid.
It's been handled.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
That looks like it hurt.
I want everything on Jimmy Logan.
I'm about to get naked. So no bacon. I said no bacon.
You
Logans mustn't be as simple-minded as people say.
People say that.
Would you give me my arm, please?
Is it this one?
I know the name is Logan Lucky, but it should be Paul Lucky because how much of a privilege it was to see this.
I would definitely agree with that. I think this is actually really cool timing to talk about this movie because Knives Out was just in theaters, and in that Daniel Craig also does a very strong, different Southern accent, but still a very strong Southern accent. Ooh. And I don't know, there's something interesting about British actors being able to do like American, particularly Southern American accents better than Southerners.
You thought those were good Southern accents?
I thought they were fine. I thought they were remarkable.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm with Alex on this one.
I guess I got to play devil's advocate.
All right, what's your argument? I mean, it didn't sound.
I don't know. It sounded distinct. It sounded well put together. Because I mean, there's numerous like Southern accents.
Where are you from?
Me, I'm from Florida. I'm from Michigan with the climate change.
Interesting.
So I think the Southern accents from Florida are a little bit. Aren't quite what they should be. But no, I think Daniel Craig kills the Southern accent.
I don't think nobody in this movie killed a Southern accent. Actually.
Yeah, it just sounded like a whole bunch of people trying to put on a Southern accent. That's like, it kind of a little annoyed me sometimes. It really took me out of it. Like when they break down and they get him in the back of the car and he's all joking with the guy's arm. Mm-hmm. I don't know, like that whole time Daniel Craig was talking, I was like, dude. Like, do you hear yourself? Like, I just hope someone like come like when he's like sitting in the chair, like someone comes up to him like, oh, do you want to read that shot? Is like, just like maybe without the accent. I don't know. I always find it hard when people try to do accents because it's either you nail it and people can't tell the difference, or people absolutely know you're doing an accent, especially when you're English, because everybody's like, they know that you're an Englishman. So, you know, I mean, they know who you are. So, I mean, it's like you already got 2 strikes on you on that front, you know?
I don't know. I think it'd be pulled off. I think, I don't know. I mean, what's the guy's name? Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead. He does a pretty good Kentuckian accent. I mean, it's from Georgia, but still pretty good Kentucky accent. But I mean, outside of that, I mean, I think the movie's done. It's very stylized, in my opinion. I think out of the 3 we've discussed, it is the weakest.
This one is the weakest?
I think this one's the weakest.
I think it's the funniest.
Yeah, I think it's the funniest too.
It is funny. I just think as far as like storytelling wise, I think it's the weakest. But it's definitely I would agree with you. I think it's the funniest, but I don't think like storytelling wise it's the strongest.
This man said, okay, I get fired as a construction worker, you know. So I'm gonna go rob the race car place. Like that's like, come on, fam. Like that's ridiculous. I mean, I guess somebody would say ambition, but I think that was just stupid. I mean, like, I got fired, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna rob them. That's crazy. Like, you know, how much money was that they're trying to get? They assumed to get.
I don't know. Cash gambling carries a lot of money. The thing about cash is it's the most valuable. So even if the take isn't huge, it's easily fenced. So.
All right. Then we're gonna break this dude out of jail and send him right
like
back.
you were saying, I think it really is absurd, and I think like they know it's absurd, and I think they all just kind of play around with the fact that this is just like the most absurd idea that anybody could have for a heist movie.
Yeah, I can't find nobody would do that.
What's his name? Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane.
Like I was surprised that he was in this, and like his claim to fame in the movie was kind of absurd. And I think they were just kind of just having fun with it.
Yeah, I mean,
like, the whole time. Yeah. And I can appreciate that, but I also agree that it is probably the weakest one on here, just because of that.
It doesn't make it by any means a bad film.
Yeah.
But yeah,
no.
I think it's definitely more centered towards just being more over the top and fun.
Probably one of them like ridiculously stupid movies, like dumb movies. Like look at the movies that like what's the man's name? I hate that I keep doing this. I'm thinking of actors and can't think of the names. The Seth Rogen. Not Seth Rogen. That's his name.
Yeah, Seth Rogen. Yeah.
Seth Rogen. Like all his movies, like.
Well, yeah, he's not exactly right in Oscar bait.
Yeah, but I mean, it's excellent movies though. But I mean, I feel like that's the aim they were going towards, like movies like he be in. Like even with Seth MacFarlane being some ridiculous stuff.
Oh yeah, you know, he definitely embraces it.
Yeah, so I think that's what they were aiming for in a way.
I really like Adam Driver in this movie. You know, I really. Let's see. I saw this one. I think Star Wars came out a little earlier before this one, and I really didn't like. No, actually, I kind of liked it. And I really didn't like, what's his name, like Kylo Ren, right?
Yeah, emo Ryan. Yeah.
I really didn't like his performance in the first one. It got kind of better in the second one, but that's a whole different thing. Yeah. But I really liked him in this one, and I'm actually a big fan of his now. You know, he really he really has proven himself to be a serious actor. And a very unserious role in this one.
I'm finna say, I'm like, you think this is like a very serious role?
A very unserious role.
The whole missing arm gag is great. I think it's so funny because he was in Star Wars, and it's the only Star Wars trilogy that he was in that nobody loses a hand.
Yeah.
But he like had a huge window. Like it wasn't no normal side. That was stupid. This girl dude with big arm.
Well, next week on The Verdict, we'll be reviewing some really interesting indie horror. So we'll be discussing Us, Midsommar, and The Lighthouse. Stay tuned next week. Y'all have a good night.